Shablam! Everybody. Anyway, um, Mr. Ching Chang Chong will not be with us today. He's working in the sweatshops and stuff. Nike called him in. So he will not be on today.
No,
here.
No.
So you just have the two Negroids to worry about today. And so we're going to be volatile a little bit. Both of us have a very strong take on this Israel-Iran issue. I think it's fair to say, wouldn't you say, Mister, that our stance may be disliked by a few?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You know, I talk about tribalism within politics, and there's a lot of tribalism within both parties. You know, and there's the right doesn't like to admit it, but the right has a lot of tribalism within it. And so our stance, when you're talking about the right, it's not going to jive with some of their beliefs on this conflict.
Yeah. And as long as we have this way, we gonna have some problems, people. But we can tell you this: we are not going to be the kind of people that hold back our thought process. You know us by now, that when we believe something and our point of view, even if it's conflicting with other people's point of view, we don't care.
Nope.
That is the beauty about the Savage Patriots. We don't have a party line that we toe. We operate based on one, what our personal point of view is, and two, right and wrong. Okay. And sometimes they conflict with each other. Just so you know.
And just to know that we don't always agree. Don't think because we're the Savage Patriots, every point we're just in some echo chamber here. No, we don't agree. Marlon and I kind of had a little bit of disagreement backstage. We weren't mad at each other. We just saw things differently.
But I was right. I mean, and so, you know, when you...
touche.
I mean, you gotta say what you gotta say what you say, you know. I mean, we argued, but I'm right. So, I mean, what you gonna do, you know?
Yeah. I wouldn't call it. We don't argue. It's just more like we're just two grown men who are very set in our and what our beliefs.
Yeah, it just takes bro a little bit longer to understand that I'm always right. That's all it is, you know. But in time, he'll realize that's just how it is. I ain't never wrong, you know. You just haven't come to my side of the agreement yet. But in time, we'll figure it out.
And you know what? You know, I'm man enough to come forward and say, you know what? You was right. I can do that.
Gabby in the house. So we're going to start off with the nation heads saying their part. Okay. Always start with what they say as opposed to what we think they say. And here comes half Trump, half wall. I don't know. Is it cyber Trump? Let's see what he has to say about this.
Doing pretty well. Right now, we're doing pretty well. Remember, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. Not to go too deep into it, they just can't have a nuclear weapon. We're not looking for a ceasefire. I didn't say I was looking for a ceasefire. That was Emmanuel, nice guy, but he doesn't get it right too often. But we're looking for better than a ceasefire. An end, a real end, not a ceasefire. An end.
So something that will be permanent.
Yeah, or giving up entirely. That's okay too.
Are you closer? Is that possible in the next 24
Why not? Certainly possible. Complete give up. That's possible, yeah.
Now, I am going to say I'm 100% behind this idea of getting rid of this whole idea of ceasefire. Ceasefire just means, wait, let me get my gloves on better, and you get your gloves on better. It's like we're changing rounds, okay?
Yeah.
Round one, ceasefire. You sit down, you get your bandage off, you get your tape done, you get your jaw piece fixed in, you get the cut on the eye, and you get it melted off, put your stuff back on your Vaseline, and you go back out. Round two, ceasefire. Round three, like, we don't want that. We want an end to it all. It won't happen. I'm just letting, I know he's hopeful.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. I just let you know, there is not even going to be a ceasefire. Eventually, this is how I predicted, one side's going to lose.
You know, I want it just to end. And
it'll end.
You know, like we've said before, if they want to fight, say we can't. Say there's not going to be a ceasefire. Somebody's got to win. Someone's got to lose. America should stay out of it 100%. Hands off. We don't want no part of it because Israel. And again, Marlon and I don't pick sides. We're kind of neutral. We're kind of like whatever, you know. But to Israel, if you throw a punch, prepare to get punched back. So you can't throw a punch and just say, "Oh my God, hitting harder." 911 USA. You can't do that. You started it. Go in and finish it. Show us how great your military really is without our help. That's just what I.
And that's how most people who don't know how to fight will start a fight and they don't know how to finish it, or they'll pick a fight with somebody that they don't realize can fight.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna pull up, and then you try to pull up, and then when you pull up, you get put down. It's not a good look. But Benny had something to say, and so we're gonna listen to what Benny had to say, and then we'll listen to what the other guy has to say.
Tonight, I wish to speak to you, the proud people of Iran. We're in the midst of one of the greatest military operations in history, Operation Rising Lion. The Islamic regime, which has oppressed you for nearly 50 years, threatens to destroy my country, the State of Israel. The objective of Israel's military operation is to remove this threat, both the nuclear threat and the ballistic missile threat to Israel. And as we achieve our objectives, we're also clearing the path for you to achieve your objective, which is freedom. In the past 24 hours, we've taken out top military commanders, senior nuclear scientists, the Islamic regime's most significant enrichment facility, and a large portion of its ballistic missile arsenal. More is on the way. The regime doesn't know what hit them. They don't know what will hit them. The nation of Iran and the nation of Israel have been true friends since the days of Cyrus the Great. And the time has come for you to unite around your flag and your historic legacy by standing up for your freedom from an evil and oppressive regime. It has never been weaker. This is your opportunity to stand up and let your voices be heard. Woman, life, freedom. Zan, Zandegi, Azadi. As I said yesterday and many times before, Israel's fight is not with you. It's not with you, the brave people of Iran, whom we respect and admire. Our fight is with our common enemy, a murderous regime that both oppresses you and impoverishes you. Brave people of Iran, your light will defeat the darkness. I'm with you. The people of Israel are with you.
Okay. Heard that. Heard what he done gone and said. All right. What y'all think of that?
So how long has Iran been this nuclear threat?
Threat or actual possessor of something nuclear?
Possessor, threat, vocally when they're since 19, I think.
See, that was before Bush, right?
Yeah, 1984.
Yeah.
So he got up here and said the same exact thing about Iran back then in the 80s. How come we're doing it now? If Iran was such a threat, how come they didn't take that stuff out years ago? But now they're willing to go in. What caused them? What was the trigger for them to finally say, you know what, enough is enough? Because he said the same exact thing back in the 80s.
I could tell you, I think what my suspicion is.
That
there was a point in time where Israel was not such a respected force throughout the globe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a point in time where most of these Muslim nations were feared, literally, like people were scared of them to go after them, because the thought process was they were not afraid to take out entire nations with, terrorist attacks. That was a thought process.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think what has happened is that we have seen a change in whether it's by design or not. I'm not questioning that. But there seems to be a change in the fear factor that most Muslim nations put on the globe. They're no longer really as freaked out about a terrorist attack as we used to be, if you realize. And I think it's just an opportunistic time to do something like this without the world saying there's a fear of a mad retaliation. And you remember how they used to make Rambo even made Rambo 3 was about that, wasn't it? Rambo 3 was about the terrorists, then Russia joining and all. That's how big of a scare factor it was back in the day. I don't think they have that kind of clout anymore. And so I think people are just more keen on taking the step to act up on them.
So when has regime change worked?
Never.
It creates a vacuum, right?
Mhm.
So when you replace the regime, who are you replacing the Ayatollah? Who's in charge of the Ayatollah? Who are you replacing them with?
Well, no one. That's a vacuum left.
Yeah. So someone else is going to come in. Are going to be more radical, less radical? Are you rolling a dice? Is there someone that's handpicked? So, who are they trying to replace? What I'm saying is that a regime change never worked. When I was in Iraq, regime change never worked. Over there, they were over there for 20-something years. Once they got rid of Saddam Hussein, it created this vacuum. And then the more and more attacks picked up because there was this fight for power. You had the Taliban, you had all these other Al-Qaeda, you had all the Sons of Iraq. You had all these groups that wanted to be in control. So if they're trying to conduct a regime change, just say, hey, we're going in for a regime change. It has nothing really to do with nuclear weapons because they don't even have any nuclear missiles right now. They have the capabilities of building one. They don't have them yet. But we just want to get the guy out of there because we don't like the way he operates. Just be honest with it.
Yeah, I guess. I think the issue that most people don't want to talk about is how we got here and how much. Okay, let me ask you this: how much do you think of an impact Trump actually has on the global scale, considering he's only been in this and he has not been a part of? Now, remember, all the presidents before were part of the establishment before they became president, so they at least had a hand, a voice, or a vote in every war we've been in. Okay. How much sway do you think he really has over what's going to be happening in this war?
Honestly, none.
None. That's my thought too.
Yeah, none.
And I believe he's alluded to think that he has as much as he thinks he has, but I don't think he has what he thinks he has.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, at the end of the day, all these presidents answer to someone. No matter how much they come out and say what they say about America this, America that, America this, someone is still up there pulling the strings. I don't care what they say. Someone's telling them what to do. And I don't think Trump, at the end of the day, has that much sway. Now, he can kind of sway it to where, well, I'm not sending my people there. I will do X, Y, and Z, but I'm not putting boots on the ground. That's it.
And that's what inevitably, that's what I hope happens. That he does not.
Yeah.
If look, fight with them all you want verbally and deal wise, but keep our military off that ground, because I think the instant we do that, we're inviting civilian death over here. So let's see what Mr. Ayatollah Khamenei says.
اینی که به ملت ایران بگم بیایید تسلیم بشید حرف عاقلانه نیست.
Did you catch that? Let me rewind it. Telling the Iranian nation to surrender is not a wise thing to say. All right. Wise people who know the region, the Iranian people, and its history would never say that. Whom should we surrender to? Iran is not a nation to surrender. America getting involved in this would be 100% to its detriment. The damage it would suffer would be much more than what Iran would possibly suffer. The damage to America, if it gets military involved, would be irreparable damage, no doubt. That would be a threat, FYI. Partial promise as well. And I think, Mr. Trump, you should take that deadly serious, because if it's one thing they're notorious for is going through on their word. We are already the infidel. I don't think you want to add infidel and then also instigator to that list. I don't think we need two eyes. I think we just need to back out.
Mm.
I said we leave Israel and Iran to fix their crap. Don't even try to get them to the table. Um, if this is because it's partially a holy war and it's partially political. If Trump were wise, he would leave this alone, withdraw every troop that he has on the ground in Israel, every troop he has on the ground between there and Iran, and leave the region completely. Hear me out. The reason why he should leave that region completely is because at this moment, Israel has decided that they are done taking the BS that Iran's been handing out, and Iran is tired of sitting on the sidelines, and they both want to go at it. Okay? Leave them, let them figure it out. Don't intervene. Don't ask for a peace treaty. Just let it go. At the end of the day, your concern should be here and here alone. If they want to nuke the crap out of each other, let them. If they want to wipe each other off the planet, let them. We do not care. And here's why we do not care. They do not help anything here. And obviously,
Nope.
they're not the same people from the Old Testament. So I don't care about anybody bringing that to me either. There might be some people there who might be still part of the nation of Israel from the Bible. The majority are not that. They're debaucherous. They're heavy into trafficking, multiple religions. They serve multiple gods. So no, don't bring that one here either. I'm going to slap that across the fence biblically. So no, they are not the chosen people that live there. There might be a few, but Israel, as we know it, is not the nation of God. So don't bring that to me. This concept has been going on for years. And no amount of treaty is going to stop it. The exact same way that you wasn't going to get anything done between any nation state over in the Middle East and anyone else. This has been going on for far too long. This is a religious war for them. And it's because it's a religious war, you are never going to implement anything with man to get it solved.
Yep.
Sorry to tell you that. I don't know how else to explain this to people. Everyone thinking this can be done in a political way. It's not going to get done.
And I agree. You know, the only way you can really end for us is to become an isolationist. And you hear me keep saying this. I've said it backstage. I'm not saying we stop dealing with other countries when it comes to trade or, you know, humanitarian assistance in certain areas of the world. But we cannot go around and get involved in every single conflict that pops up in the world. 1 minute we're in Ukraine. Next minute we're going to Iran. Next minute we're going to freaking Gaza. Next minute we're going to Iraq. Next minute we're going to Afghanistan. How long does this country have to be in war? When I was in the military, the 9/11 happened in 2001. So from 2001 all the way up until when I retired, I was in an army that was at war. And it still hasn't ended. And I still know people that are in right now that have been going over there. So when does it end? And for all you war hawks out there, all you freaking armchair quarterbacks, Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz and all you monkeys out there that are pro-war, take your butt over there and do it. And all you civilians out here that are pro-war, where were you from 2001 to 2023? Sitting on your freaking couch. If you want to go to war so bad, go to your nearest recruiter's office, sign up, and prove to us that you can do it. Until then, you have no dog in this fight.
You have a lot of fighting the dog. Let's listen to the latest spat, because now there is rifts happening in the Republican and MAGA party. And I do separate them, okay? There is a separation between the Republicans and MAGA, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The fight now is between whether or not they follow what's been going on and request we enter into this fight, or we stay quiet and stay out. The thing is, Trump has not said either direction where he's going to go. He has definitely said he does not want to get involved. So I don't know where the idea that he wants to go to war came from. I have no idea how that came out as an option, because I don't think I've ever heard him say he wants to go to fight Iran. But for some reason, everybody thinks that's what he wants to do. So let's listen to the clash between Tucker and Mr. Cruz.
How many people live in Iran, by the way? I don't know the population at all. No, I don't know the population. You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple? How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah.
How could you not know that?
You know why they don't know? Because they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care. Now, you know, within those 92 million, yes, there are military in there, but there's a lot of civilians, women, and children, old people that don't want to fight. And you don't even know the demographic of the country that you want to invade and topple their whatever regime, what you like to call them, their government. That means they don't care, man. They don't care.
That's funny.
If they can wipe Iran off the map, they would, and smile while doing it.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know
claims
anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump.
No,
You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
who can't figure out
I'm
if it was
saying
a good
you don't
idea to kill
believe-
General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
They're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe
we're
that,
carrying out the
Factual statement. Factual statement. I do not believe that Iran was behind the attempted assassination of President Trump. I believe that was a local thing. That was definitely people here. I'm not saying that the foreign countries wouldn't benefit from it. That's from here.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Marlon. You know, if they can blame anything on Iran, gives them a reason to go to war. You know, Iran tried to kill the president. That gives us a reason to blow him up. Iran tried to do this. That gives us a reason to blow him up. And as you stated, and I agree with you, that was all an inside job, all of it. Operation Northwood. Don't ever forget it.
military strikes today.
you said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
We are?
Huh?
We are?
Really?
Now, you see, statements like that.
How much?
Yeah, statements like that don't sit well with me for two reasons. He is the representative of the Republicans who President Trump won with. You saying that makes it seem like President Trump is also on board with the same invasion. I don't think that's how it goes. I don't think he even says anything remotely close to that. Did he?
No. I haven't heard anything. Even Trump, I think he did an interview today to where he said he never said that we were sending anyone over there. He said we're still looking at it. And I know they were in a situation room before we got on this podcast talking about it. So he hasn't made any type of decisions yet. So us sending them is telling us that we are helping them by proxy, right? Sending them. He said we.
So let's take a look at this one here. This is a recent report based on what Trump was asking for.
In cryptic remarks today, President Trump wouldn't say whether he's willing to join Israel in its attempt to destroy Iran's nuclear program.
But whoa. You see how they framed that? Y'all catch how they framed that? Now, even if Trump was anti-Israel, they have just painted him into a corner of if you don't, you must not care about blah, 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 blah. You don't want him to go to war because you're saying that he does want to start World War III. But at the same time, you want him to go to war because then it'll prove you right. And you know what the outcome of that would be. You know, it's just weird to me. Huh.
Journal, President Trump told senior aides he has approved of attack plans, holding off only to see if Iran changes course.
Now, mind you, back that up. Read what they said. Did they say that Trump said that, or somebody inside the cabinet say they heard him say something?
Said privately.
You see, I don't understand that nonsense right there. Anyway.
Iran changes course. The prospect of direct U.S. involvement has added to fears of a wider war in the Middle East.
Okay, quick question. Did they think about it like this when Biden was supporting Ukraine? I mean, it's a serious question. Hear me out. Did they say, There's no such possibility of World War III, even if we pay X amount of money to Ukraine. Their goal was
No,
to
I
have
don't remember.
Ukraine wipe out your Russia, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does Russia have nukes?
Yes.
Oh, but they weren't caring about whether Russia had nukes to start off World War III when they were supplying Ukraine with weaponry.
No.
But now they care because Trump is not even verbally siding with anybody. The idea that he might, that's World War III possibility.
Yes. It's because it's Trump.
Okay. All right.
Tonight, cities in Israel and Iran under fire. The countries at war trading more blows overnight and into today, nearing a week of strikes in the ever-deepening conflict. And here at home,
You don't seriously think I'm going to answer that question?
the major question still unanswered tonight, whether President Trump would push the U.S. into the conflict and join Israel's strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities.
You don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this.
That's how it should be, too.
Okay. Never let the right hand know what the left hand is doing.
Yep.
And while I appreciate that approach, I really do, Trump. I really do. You don't need that approach on this one. The approach you do need is I'm staying the hell out of all of this. Don't ask me nothing about them. Don't ask me about Iran. Don't ask me about Israel. Don't ask me about bombs. Don't ask me about. I don't want nothing to do with none of them. My focus is here. If they start talking sideways about America and felt froggy and do something, I'm going to wipe you square off the planet. It's that easy. If you want to F around and find out whether or not I would bomb you, mess with me and see what happened.
Yep.
No, go ahead. Take your little floppy toe and react stupid to America when we staying out of both of y'all ways. Y'all kill each other. Nobody gives a damn. Kill each other. Go at it. Have fun. Mess around and come here with that BS. Watch me nuke you. Poof. Clear. Gone. They won't have to worry about Iran no more.
Yep.
It won't be in Iran.
And tell Netanyahu to keep our name out of his mouth.
Yeah, period. He's already distanced himself from Netanyahu, okay? People may not know this, but he has not been very friendly with Netanyahu ever since this thing has kicked off. So what he's trying to stay is completely neutral. The problem with him is this. He cannot stay neutral because the party that he's affiliated with isn't staying neutral.
Yep.
And he has to depend on them to get certain things done. But if they are against his idea, he cannot win this.
Yeah,
he simply can't.
Aren't they trying to pass a bipartisan bill to stay out of it, though, with Republicans and Democrats right now? I read something about that you have a bunch of Republicans who are against this conflict and a whole bunch of people on the left that are trying to pass a bipartisan bill for us to stay out of it. I forget what the name of it was. I'm pretty sure I was reading something about that. I just can't remember exactly.
That's interesting.
This that Iran's got a lot of trouble. We'll see. The next week is going to be very big. Maybe less than a week. Maybe less.
President Trump, speaking with reporters as workers installed new flagpoles on the White House South Lawn, said Iran had reached out to him and even proposed coming to the White House for talks.
Mr. President, have you given the Iranians an ultimatum?
You could say so. They know what's happening. Maybe you could call it the ultimate ultimatum, right?
Meantime, the death toll in Iran is mounting.
I think part of his problem is that he's so sick and tired of them people.
Yeah, he is.
Like he's just absolutely fed up with the media. It doesn't matter how he answers. And I think at this point he's like, I'm gonna just answer anyhow I feel like it, and y'all can take with it what you want. Like he really don't give two rats behinds about how they think, how they reply, how they behave. He doesn't care anymore. He's just done. And well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. You know.
I mean, you guys are used to making stuff up about me anyway, so maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Just whatever you want to throw in there, just throw it in there. Say I said it. Doesn't matter.
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know what that tell you, man. It is what it is, you know.
U.S.-based Iranian human rights group says more than 200 civilians have been killed in Israel strikes.
ملت ایران
But for its part, Iran sought to project strength today, with its supreme leader rejecting President Trump's call for unconditional surrender.
The Americans, those who are familiar with the politics of this region, know that the damage America will suffer if it makes a military intervention in this field will undoubtedly be irreparable.
If the U.S. decides to join Israel in its attack on Iran, one main target would be the Fordow nuclear enrichment site southwest of Tehran. Built deep into a mountain, the facility appeared unscathed in recent satellite imagery taken after Israel's latest strikes. To penetrate and destroy that facility, experts say it would require so-called bunker buster bombs carried aboard B-2 bombers, both of which...
Say that 10 times fast. Bunker busting bombs of B-12 bombers.
Interesting.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers busters.
The U.S. has, and Israel does not. But entering the fight could alienate a part of Mr. Trump's base, those who are against engaging the U.S. in new foreign wars. Among them, Tucker Carlson, who recently sparred with Senate Republican Ted Cruz on the prospect of regime change in Iran.
You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know anything about the country.
President Trump today insisted any action against Iran would have a clear end.
Some of the people in the base don't want a long-term war. They're afraid that we're going to get into a long-term war.
We're not looking for a long-term war. We're looking. I only want one thing. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's it. I'm not looking long-term, short-term. And I've been saying that for 20 years.
Meantime, the U.S. has sent more military aircraft and warships to the region, staying prepared to defend Israel and American assets as the region awaits President Trump's decision.
And therein lies the problem I have most. We do not need to defend somebody who does not come to defend us.
I agree.
They have military. I don't see their presence here to help us do anything. There are countries that want us gone, and they don't do anything to stop that. Mm-hmm. Why are we intervening on their behalf? I don't get that. I think people have become conflating the word ally with slave.
Yep.
America is not anybody's ally. America is everybody else's bee. That's what we are. We become their bee. They abuse us. They beat us. They take what we got. They demand more. And they don't give jack squat back to us. They don't help. Okay, say we are in a mad deficit. They don't send no money to us. We got problems. They don't come here to help. They can have places blown down from a war, and we will send people over to help rebuild. We have places collapsed from hurricane. They don't do nothing to come help build.
Nope.
Did you see anybody ever come over here to help rebuild during the hurricanes? Even back in the Katrina days? No.
Nope. The Maui's, the fires in LA, none of it.
Nothing. In fact, they'll come to tour for when they want to put up their Olympics, though. And they'll expect us to clean up. But they don't come to help. So why the heck are we helping them? Like I said, at some point, to your point, though, Mike, we have to become isolationists. We do.
Yeah. And the thing is that these politicians, they brainwash the Americans about who's our ally and who's our enemy. You know, they pick and choose who the enemies are. They pick and choose who our allies are. And American people have to take a step back and think like, why is Istanbul, whatever, my enemy? Or why is Russia my enemy? What have they done to us to make them know? So the government's telling the American people that these people are bad and these people are good. But the people that they call good, as Marlon stated, what have they done for us? But take. They just take. But what have they done for us?
Nothing.
Man, think about it. Zero.
Nothing.
Who said?
Nothing. Not a thing. Granted, we have not had a massive need for their big time help, really, because we are that self-sustaining. But let's go back to something as recent as 9/11. Okay, let's go back to 9/11. How many people came to our rescue? Okay, inside job or not, be damned. We're not talking about it being an inside job. Let's just look at from the outside in. How many countries came to help clean up? I'm just give me a name. Give me two of the people that we pay stuff to all the time. We protect. We have great trade deals for that benefit. That name 2 countries that came to help clean up ground zero for 9/11. Just name one. Just name 2. And anybody that comes later, name 2. That's what exactly they came for. Specifically, that they contributed money to help rebuild. Name 2. I bet you won't. You won't be able to, because there were none. There were none. So I think it's about time we shut this stuff down. Stop sending money to any country that ain't the U.S. Stop sending military to any country that ain't the U.S. Because there will come a time when we will need our military here. We don't have to do anything anymore, and people hate us. Honestly, we don't have to do much for people to hate us, and we're going out of a way, it seems, to make people want to hate us more. You know, the reason you can't think of none is because there are none.
No.
Canada sent thoughts and prayers. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about Iraq, why did we go to Iraq? And you'll see where I'm going with this. We don't know why we went to Iraq. We probably went to Iraq because Netanyahu got up there and said that Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. George Bush got up there and regurgitated that, and we invaded Iraq. Who lost the most soldiers over there in Iraq? America.
America did.
And it's not even our region, technically. You know, if you think about it, that's more like an Israel's deal and, you know, all the other countries that they deal with. But Americans were over there flying halfway across the ocean to die in a land that's not even theirs. And these other people weren't even putting in half the work we were. Tired of getting used, man. Cut them off.
So let's see here. I'm looking at something real quick here. Let me take a look. So Canada was going to send people to help with the fires in LA. Going to. They didn't. We sent people 200 over to Canada for their fires recently. The point of this is this. America, you got one job now, and that is to deal with the crap going on here. The goal of the globalists is to get us sidetracked with helping everybody else and allowing the country to collapse from the inside out. Mr. Trump, as much as I really appreciate your leadership as president in a lot of areas, you better not fumble the ball on this one. Bring our troops back from overseas and deploy them to all of these cities that have these riots kicking off. Put the foot down so they understand that you start this crap here, we're going to put you out, get things under control, and start to regulate America's economy and America's way of living. Because we are at a deficit right now, and I'm not talking about economy. We are at a deficit when it comes to leadership, because the places that are going most under are the blue ones. This is your point to where you can solidify red rule for a while, even if you want to call it king. I don't care. The blues got nothing to offer nobody anyway. Look, if another Democrat never rules anywhere, it'll be a good day.
Yep.
If a war hawk on the red side never rules again, it'll be a good day. The problem here is that we have a lot more stuff going out than coming in, and we cannot afford to mess this particular section of life up, because where we're at right now is an impasse. And I understand what's probably supposed to happen. It's probably just another stepping stone and how things are going to end. I get all that. But that don't mean we're supposed to just roll over. They still have a chore that we put them in charge of, which is the protection of U.S. citizens. Going to war with Israel on behalf of Israel into Iran is stupid. And I really don't think he's going to do it, though. Your thoughts?
I hope not. We'll find out this evening. Like I said, he's in a situation right now, but you know, America is tired of allies and the leaders of those countries acting like we answer to them. Our soldiers answer them. That little midget in Ukraine said the same thing. You know, American service members will die or whatever he said in our country. It's almost like they have so much arrogance that they think they can dictate where our service members come and go.
Right.
And Trump can't allow that. Netanyahu should have no say at any level to where our military goes. No country. No say so. The president, at the end of the day, is the commander in chief, and he says no, and that's it. No. And if something happens in our country, and we figure that one of you guys did it to try to draw us into the war, we're not going after the country that you said did it. We're going after you for trying to draw us into a conflict. Same thing they did with these other wars. They're going to try to draw us in some way, shape, or form. They have to do something. And it has nothing to do with the people of these countries. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about an agenda.
Period.
And it ain't got nothing to do with nuclear weapons.
Eventually, this will be a pivotal moment. What Trump does in the next week and a half will define the next 3 years of his presidency. Telling you now, if he does the wrong thing by starting to step in, we could be in trouble. If he stays out of it, I think would be the best option. Don't even try and defend nothing that's going on. Keep calling for things to stop, but please do not intervene. If you do, you're just going to solidify and codify blue rule for the next 8 years. I'm telling you now.
Yep.
I'm telling you right now, if he does it, it's over.
I mean, this is kind of looking like World War II, right? And at first, America wasn't going to get involved. We were helping out the Brits, and we were sending them supplies and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, what happened? Pearl Harbor. They drew us into that conflict, and I can kind of see the same thing happening. I think Trump initially is going to say that no. We're hands off. We might supply you, might help you out with food or whatever, ammo. But outside of that, we're not sending any of our people over there to fight in that region. And then I could see them saying another Pearl Harbor type incident. I could see something like that happening, and they're going to try to force his hand. And I hope Trump is smarter than that. I hope he's smarter than that, knowing that these people are actually trying to draw us in. Still stay out, 10 toes down. Don't matter what you do. We're not getting involved. And all them war hawks that are trying to get our people over there, I pray to God they put you in uniform and send you over there too, Lindsey Graham. Because you ain't got no kids, so you can go.
He ain't got no kids because he only has butt babies. That's a big difference. Everybody know Lindsey Graham gay. He can't have no kids.
He is.
I wouldn't be surprised if him and Hunter had something going on, but I digress. This entire thing, it'll be an escalation of epic proportions if he doesn't hold his ground. And I hope he does. Hope he doesn't take the bait. I agree, Teresa. I hope he does not take the bait. I hope his nonchalant behavior is one that's signaling that he really doesn't care either way about it. Because that's how he feels like to me. Like, man, whatever. I don't really care anymore. I'm just done with both of them. They're like petulant children fighting in a corner. And one of them got his head busted open, expecting you to run and beat the other one. I'm like, but didn't you throw something at the kid? Yeah. Well, deal with y'all crap, man. Stop coming to me. Like, what do you call me? What do I got to do with it? I didn't throw the stone.
Yeah. We don't want nothing to do with it. Like, seriously, we don't want nothing to do with it. We're tired, man. Look at our country right now. You have people, the homeless people. You have people that are living check to check. You have people that can't get, their medical bills paid. We have so many freaking problems here, man. And then you want to send more money over there with troops, more money to feed the military industrial complex because Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz think we should. No. You promised the people that we wouldn't be involved in any regime changes. I remember you saying that. Then they praise you for being the president of not getting us involved in any conflicts. I remember you saying that. So keep it like that.
It's going to be a very interesting situation, people. And we'll see how it turns out. I would not be the least bit surprised if we do end up in the war. It won't be surprising. I'll be happy if we don't, but I can't say that I'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I can say that much. So we'll see how it eventually turns out. And we'll keep you posted, but y'all might be already posted by the time we figure it out. So we'll be on the same page. Friday, we'll be back. However, not sure what the topic is going to be, because by then we might already be in the war.
Might be a total blackout by then.
Is it tomorrow that TikTok's supposed to go away?
Yeah, it's supposed to be the 19th.
That's tomorrow.
Yes, but Trump is talking about an extension.
No, don't extend it.
No, Now, listen, with the original extension was 90 days. Trump only extended it for 75, which takes us to June 19th. Still have 15 days on top of that 90 days, which takes us to July 4th. So I don't know. I hope he just kills it. Just shut it down.
Just shut it down.
Yeah, country's divided enough. That app is getting lame. It's boring anyway. I've connected with the people, just like Marna. We've connected with the people we need to connect with. The rest of it is just a bunch of regurgitated, freaking, no talent having content. I said what I said.
It is what it is. I don't want that place around no more anyway. So get rid of it.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. We'll see how it goes.
It is. Yeah.
We'll be back on Friday. I'll be back tomorrow. And we're going to vibe then. Make sure y'all go check out the Too Strong videos we've been dropping. We dropped one about Brad Pitt recently. That one's doing pretty good. Y'all should go check that one out. And we got some more information that could actually go in the way of Diddy's case going his way, information-wise.
What?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. The prosecution might have fumbled.
Oh, man.
Prosecution might have fumbled, y'all. You've been saying from the beginning something doesn't seem right about it, and I think we found out what. So go check it out. We'll check it out. Either way, we'll be back come Friday. Y'all have a grand rest of the week. Until then, we out. Peace.
War.